And I'm back with you. I hope this time there will not be any problems. I'm very sorry for the inconvenience, guys, but there is problem with the internet probably in the city where I live. And I'm checking now on YouTube and things are going pretty better. Now we can see the screen better. Good. So during the first lesson, we have discussed the types of essays and the structure of the essay. Now for this lesson, we should do the following things. We should talk about the assessment and then we should write some paragraphs together for introduction, body and conclusion. Okay? Now as for assessment, of course the assessment is from 0 to 5 points for your essays. And there are following criteria assessed. First of all, the content. How well does your essay answer the question? This is about the content. Next thing, of course, you need to pay attention to is your vocabulary. Have you used good vocabulary? Have you used higher level vocabulary or not? Also, you need to think about grammar range and accuracy. So what I mean in grammar range and accuracy is that maybe you used grammar tenses correctly, but your whole essay is in present simple and present continuous. So there is no grammar range, therefore it will not be very good, okay? Or maybe you have big grammar range, you try to use passive voices and relative clause, noun clauses, but not correctly. So it's not accurate. Still, there will be problem while evaluating this essay. And one more thing that we need to think about is the structure of your essay. Do you have your body paragraphs and your introduction and conclusion paragraphs? This is all about structure. And last one, let me write something like this: flow of information. So how are your paragraphs connected with each other and how are the sentences connected with each other? Okay. The official names for all of these criteria are a little bit different, but I try to use very simple words so you can understand very well what they are checking in your essay and what you need to do well in your essay. Hi Tutku again. So the points are from 0 to 5, okay? And then from 0 to 5 points, the evaluator will give you the point, and then the average score of task 1 and task 2 are converted into 30-point system. Do you understand, guys? So someone will be reading your essay, maybe another person will be reading your integrated writing, and actually there should be minimum 2 people reading your essays and integrated writing, and then the average score, for example, your average score is 3.75. This will be converted into 30-point system. Okay? This is all about the assessment of your essays. Now let's talk about paragraphs and how we need to write paragraphs. But before we do that, let me go back to this part and let me add some more things over here. When we are talking about introduction, what do you think we need in introduction, guys? What should we write in introduction? what information should be in introduction. Of course, we need to have our opinion sentence in introduction, and you need to have reasons. So these are two must things, okay? Your opinion sentence and 3 reasons why you think like that. But also, before you start opinion sentence, I recommend you to write 1 or 2 general sentence about this topic. So, general info sentence. This is my recommendation. You don't have to write general info sentence. So let me change it like this. So this is not a must, but opinion sentence and reasons is must, okay? They are must for introduction paragraph. Now you can write your opinion sentence like 1 sentence, and your reasons can be all of them in 1 sentence, or you can combine these 2 together. You can write 1 sentence for each reasons. It doesn't really matter. Totally, we know that there should be 40 to 50 words. Let's try to do something together now. Let's choose one topic. For example, I will choose a question like this, and I will write introduction paragraph with you. Let me choose here how to write paragraph. So we are writing introduction paragraph. And the question can be maybe like this. Should the government, no, not government, should the parents be forced to vaccinate their children? I have seen this question on IELTS exam and I liked it very much, so I will copy and use it for our essay. So the question asks, should the parents be forced to vaccinate their children? Of course, by government, okay? My idea is, my opinion about it is that yes, they should be forced. So let me do some planning first. Opinion, yes. Then reason 1. Why I think so is to manage countries' health level, maybe. Reason 2 can be because some parents are not educated enough. They don't have enough information about possible things if they don't vaccinate their children. So my reason 2 will be low education level in some parts. And reason 3, sometimes students get stuck and they don't know what to write. They do not have enough reasons and they always ask me, teacher, please, I don't know, what can I do, what should I write, and etc. And I always tell them, I can't teach you what to write, but I can teach you how to write. Although, I always tell them, don't look at things from only one perspective and only from one's opinion, okay? Now, when you have a question like this, should the parents be forced to vaccinate their children? So far, we talked about the parents. They don't have education, and country can manage something. So you need to look at this question from children's perspective, parents' perspective, and government's perspective, okay? So we know that we have healthy children, okay? We ensure this with reason 1. Reason 2 is parents are not maybe educated. Now reason 3, I will say something about the government and maybe government's economy or something like that. Why parents should be forced to vaccinate their children? Because in this way, government maybe can not increase their economy, but let me write it in good words for you. I will use some economical knowledge, and I will say reason 3 is large-scale economy. It means that when you buy something and you buy it like wholesale, not one by one, it is of course cheaper. So if the government knows that every children will be vaccinated, the government knows how many vaccines they need to buy from another country or how many vaccines they need to create, so it will be cheaper for the government. But when the government does not know if the parents will vaccinate them or will not vaccinate their children, then they will not be able to buy the wholesale principle, and they will buy maybe little amounts. Because they buy little amounts, they will need to pay more money. It will be more expensive for the government. So here we are talking about government's economical situation, okay? So I looked at the questions from 3 different perspectives, not only about parents, but also children, parents, and government's role, okay? Now I can write my introduction paragraph. I said that first thing in introduction is that we need to have here general info sentence. Then we need to give our opinion sentence and state our 3 reasons. So let me start writing sample introduction paragraph. I will write very simple one, guys. I'm not thinking about getting good grades or something now. I'm just trying to show you how we can write it. Then we can discuss together and maybe you can tell me some ideas how we can improve this paragraph, okay? Okay, so I have written something like this. There are a lot of diseases which can be prevented by vaccines. However, the decision whether to inject these, vaccines to children are left for parents in some countries. So, I gave general information sentence 1 and 2. Then I continue with my opinion. I strongly disagree with this freedom and think that government should force people to vaccinate their kids. Okay, this is my opinion sentence. Due to 3 reasons, and I'm giving my reasons. Low educational level of parents, managing the health level in the country, and using large-scale economy. Okay, so my introduction gives us information on everything that we were supposed to do. And as you see, there are 64 words in my introduction paragraph, which is very good. So it means I can write a little bit less in body paragraphs. Is this paragraph perfect? Of course, no. Is this paragraph good? Yes, definitely. One thing, for example, that I don't like about this paragraph, and I also recommend you not to do, is that I used vaccine here and here vaccinate again. What else? I used very simple structure of the sentence. There are a lot of diseases, but at least I try to use relative clause which can be prevented. So maybe I need to use more difficult grammar structures in the sentences, or maybe I need to use better words. But I did not have time because I'm teaching and writing at the same time. Other time, maybe I can write much better. Now let's talk about body paragraphs. But before that, let me say one thing. As you see here, I only mentioned my reasons, but I did not explain any of them because we have 3 whole paragraphs where I will explain these reasons. Of course, I'm not going to explain the reasons over here. I just state my reasons. I can give you now 2 minutes and maybe ask you to change one of my sentences. Which sentence do you want to change? And maybe you can make it better, okay? Guys, look at my paragraph, and if you can change any of the sentences and make it better. You can use better words maybe, or you can use better grammar structure, okay? Please. I found a grammar mistake here. Decision is left. Any ideas, guys? How can we change my sentences and make them better? Let's choose one of the sentence and what can be done. I understand that because of technical problems, we don't have so many students watching us now. It is totally acceptable because as I see the internet is working very badly, not just with me, but also with some other people as well, I guess. Maybe what we can do is we can change maybe the first sentence, which I don't like. There are a lot of diseases, and a lot I can change with a tremendous number. Okay. This is one of the things that I could change. What else can I change with better words? Maybe people I can change with adults here to vaccinate their kids or children. We have already used children, so kids is okay in this sentence, no problem. Now let's talk about the body paragraphs. What do we need to write in body paragraph? What is needed in body paragraph? First of all, of course, we need to have opening sentence for the body paragraph. This is a sentence which makes me understand that this paragraph is body 1. Imagine you are reading only one paragraph, and with the first sentence of the paragraph, you should understand which paragraph you are reading. So there should be something like the first, or to start. The reader understands that this is first body paragraph of your essay. So we need to have opening sentence. Then we need to have our main sentence. You can call it topic sentence, you can call it thesis, it doesn't matter. Easiest way to describe it is your main sentence. One sentence should be like that. Then we need to have supporting sentences. And finally, we should give example. Okay? Let me talk a little bit about examples. What kind of examples we can give in TOEFL essays? Examples should be personalized or personified, let's say. What I mean that in the example, you should not talk generally, but you should talk specifically about one person or maybe a group of people. You can lie a lot and you can give examples about your family members, you can give example about your friends, yourself. It doesn't matter. It doesn't have to be truth. Just the thing is, this should give very specific example of what you have already discussed in your main idea and supporting sentence, okay? Guys, if you have any questions, of course, you are more than welcome to ask me on YouTube. I'm able to see your messages on YouTube. And let's now think about the body paragraph, how we can write body paragraph for the same essay. So our question was, should the parents be forced to vaccinate their children? And my answer was yes, and I have 3 different reasons. For me, it is easier to write about this one, and I will choose this for my first paragraph. As I have said, I need to write some kind of opening sentence. Simple body paragraph. My opening sentence can be something like this. The first point I would like to mention is the education level in the country or the specific region. In some places, parents do not have I will not use education level, so now I am trying to change education level, and I will say maybe do not have knowledge and information about the possible negative sides if they do not vaccinate their children. They might even be illiterate. Illiterate is a person who is not able to read and write, okay? Therefore, if government does not force them to vaccinate their children, they might not want to do it by themselves, as they do not think that it is important. Okay. And finally, I need to give example. For example, I did not get some vaccinations when I was a kid. Due to the fact that my parents did not think I used a lot of times, so let me change it, did not consider it to be crucial. However, when I decided to go to the USA, they asked me to provide a proof of vaccinations. Otherwise, I would have been denied an entry into the country. Okay, so my body paragraph is something like this. Now let me read it because I might have made some mistakes. So let's check together what I have written. The first point I would like to mention is the education level in the country or the specific region. In some places, parents do not have knowledge and information about the possible negative sides if they do not vaccinate their children. I can change this one because I don't like the structure here. Possible negative sides of not vaccinating their children. They might even be illiterate. Therefore, if government does not force them to vaccinate their children, they might not want to do it as they do not think it is important. This sentence has become very long and I don't really like the structure, so let me change it a little bit. Therefore, if government doesn't force them to do so, maybe I can change this. They might not want to vaccinate. Okay, let's change the second part. Maybe it's better. They might not want to I will delete this one because I don't like. Therefore, if government does not force them to vaccinate their children, they might not want to do it. And it can have, okay, I can continue. And it can have bad result in the future. For example, I did not get some vaccinations when I was a kid due to the fact that my parents did not consider it to be crucial. However, when I decided to go to the United States, they asked me to provide a proof of vaccinations. Otherwise, I would have been denied an entry into the country. And I had to get all the vaccinations, I had to be vaccinated all at once. Okay, now I think my ideas are linked better to each other, and the flow of information is good, and the paragraph is easily understandable. Everyone can understand this paragraph if they read it. If you have any comments about my paragraph, of course you can write, guys. If you have any idea how I can improve it, you are more than welcome to do it so. Okay, now I see comment from Nursena. Maybe we can change the word freedom with privilege. Where was freedom? Freedom. I strongly disagree with this privilege. Let's change it with another word. Also, I don't like freedom when I look at it now. However, the decision whether to inject these to children is left for parents in some countries. I strongly disagree with this. Freedom of choice, maybe. Freedom of choice, maybe it is better. Also, Soydan says people should be forced by government. Government should force people. Okay, let's change into passive voice. Very good job, Soydan. People should be forced by government. By government. Okay, good one. Good. So we have already introduction paragraph sample, and we have body paragraph sample. Guys, if you have any ideas about my body paragraph, and if you can change something, please do it so. You can think about it, and meanwhile I will explain you the conclusion paragraph. What do we need to write in conclusion paragraph? As for the body paragraph, of course, you need to write similar paragraphs, number 2 and number 3. Let's count how many words we have written over here, because it looks very long. It is 134 words. Definitely, I need to write half of it. It is good that I can write very fast, and maybe you can also write fast. But to be honest, if you write your essay very long, let's say 500 words, you will not receive good score, because it means the person is not able to communicate ideas shortly. So what I need to do here is I need to make it a little bit shorter. For example, maybe I need to do something with example because it looks very long. My parents, this is for example only, okay? And I will write, my parents did not go to school and they were not well educated. Okay, so I changed all these things and made it a little bit shorter. Let's see now how many words we have. 99. Okay, still not the best, but shorter than 134. Now, one thing that I want to teach you also is here. This is a very good beginning of body paragraphs. The first point I would like to mention is blah, blah, blah. What we can do here, you can write this kind of sentence in many different ways. And I will do it with you now. What I can do is, of course, instead of point, I can write maybe reason, or I can write factor. I would like to mention. The word mention I can change with discuss or talk about. Also, what I can do, I can change the sentence into passive structure, and I can say the first reason to be discussed is the level of education. Okay, you should not copy any sentence or the sentence structure in your essay because it will not give you good points. So always try to change the structures or the words. For example, if you start the first paragraph with the first point I would like to mention is, the next paragraph you can say the first reason to be discussed. So you are showing the range of grammar structure, okay? This is what you can do. Now, as for the conclusion paragraph, what we can write in conclusion paragraph is very, very similar to our introduction paragraph. Remember, in introduction, we write general info sentence, opinion sentence, and state the reasons. In conclusion, we need to sum up your ideas, state opinion and reasons again, and again, my advice, but you don't have to do it, is to write again general info sentence. So you're almost copying your introduction paragraph, but with different words. Let's write one conclusion paragraph together. So this was my introduction paragraph sample, and I will write something similar to it now. And where it is, there are a lot of diseases that can be prevented. I strongly disagree, blah, blah, blah. As I see, I don't have a lot of time, so maybe I will write something very short for conclusion paragraph. And I remember that my body paragraphs are very long, so I don't need to write very long paragraph for the conclusion. I can write something like this, taking everything into consideration. I disagree with the given statement. The main reasons are the literacy rate, what else did I have as my reasons? I don't remember. Healthy level, keeping residents healthy, and economical benefits of country. So I kind of changed the words. And as for last sentence, what I can write as a general sentence is surely we cannot, one N is extra, we cannot prevent all diseases. I'm thinking about another word what can have same meaning with diseases. All illness, sickness, I don't want to use. I want to use health problems, let's say, by vaccination. But it is good to I'm thinking, guys, because I was going a little bit different way. Now I need to change my idea. Surely we cannot prevent all health problems by vaccination, but the ones that can be prevented should not be ignored. I don't like my conclusion paragraph very much, but as I said, I did not have a lot of time. That's why I wrote something like this. Okay, examples we have already discussed. Let me just say one more thing. Do you remember in the beginning I told you that type number 5, comparison essay, has a little bit different structure, and the difference about it is that comparison essay sometimes asks your opinion and sometimes it does not ask your opinion. For example, if the question is like this: compare cola and Pepsi. Does this question ask your opinion, guys? Does this question ask your opinion? Pelin has some grammar question. Would and present perfect tense. It is not would and present perfect tense, Pelin. It was used would have been denied, as I remember in my example. And this is possibility in the past. It would have happened so, but it did not happen so. So it is a modal possibility in the past. So my question was, compare cola and Pepsi. This one does not ask your opinion. And if we have question like this, compare cola and Pepsi and state which one is better, This one asks your opinion. So for comparison essays, you do not include your opinion in introduction paragraph. So you just write something, comparing, and finally, if it asks your opinion, you give your opinion only in the conclusion part. If asking your opinion, you give the opinion only in conclusion part. We need to finish lesson very soon. I just have one more thing to tell you. I have very good news for you. I told you in the beginning of the lesson that I had a surprise for you. While preparing for this lesson, we have thought a lot what I could do for you and what we could do for you. And we decided that to help you improve your writing skills, I can give you some questions today, and if you want, you can write up the essays and send it to me on my email, and I will be checking your essays. I will do it. I will check your essays and I will give comments to you about your essay. I will be checking them with TOEFL standards, and I can tell you what you need to improve and how many points you can possibly get with these type of essays. So if you want, you can write essays and share with me for evaluation, okay? The deadline for essays is, today is May 2nd, so let's say 4th May. My email address is, so you can send your emails, your essays on this email address, and I will check your essays and I can provide you comments about your essays. This will be done for free, and this is how we are helping our students to improve their writing skills for essays. Guys, if you have any questions, please write them onto our YouTube channel comments part. If there are no questions, then I guess I can finish the lesson today, and I wish all of you a very good evening, and I hope you all stay safe and healthy. Please don't forget to like our videos, check them out, and subscribe. Bye-bye. Sorry guys, I need to give you some questions. What should be the questions for the essays? You can choose and you can write which one you want. Do you agree or disagree? Let's choose this one. Women must go to army. I like this essay a lot. Essay topic, women must go to army. Second question can be, what is the most important event in your country's history? Another possible question can be something like this. If you could change one thing about yourself, what would you change and why? So we have type 1, type 2 and type 3, and let's say one type 5 as well. I'm not giving you type 4 question because it's not very popular. Hypothetical essays are... Sorry, I'm not giving you type 3. Or I have given you type 3. I have given you type 3, so let's do all of them. Let's give type 4 and type 5 as well. I'm kind of trying to rush, guys, because our second lesson was kind of long and I need to finish because there will be another lesson starting at 9 o'clock and they need to do some things for it. Question number 4 can be explain, describe. Some schools teach 2 foreign languages to students. What can be the positive effects of it? And last one, compare living alone and living with parents. Last one is very easy. You can choose maximum 2 questions and I can check 2 essays from one person. Hope you will be able to manage it, and I wish all of you very good evening and night. Bye bye.